Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It has been a hot minute since I've been on YouTube, but I am coming at you live. Well, by the time you watch this, it will not be live, from Bali. No makeup on because today I'm going to show you guys how I shave my face slash dermaplane, which is one of the most highly requested questions and videos that I get all the time, because once I started talking about these razors, which I will link to below, I just keep getting all these questions. So I'm gonna go over some of the reasons why I do dermaplaning and the most common questions I get, like if the hair grows back darker, things like that, and then I'm gonna actually show you guys how I do it. First, let me just say I'm not any sort of skin professional at all. I just did my own research and this is how I do it, and it works really well for me. But if you're a dermatologist or something and I'm totally doing this wrong, you can leave me a comment in the comments below. Thank you. Okay, so the first reason why I decided to try dermaplaning is because to be quite honest, I am Italian and Mexican, and that means I am a hairy individual. And so my hair, I am always like trying to find places to go get my eyebrows waxed, my upper lip waxed, things like that. And it's just really, I mean, it's painful and it's kind of a pain because it grows back quickly. So when I started hearing about people doing dermaplaning, which is essentially shaving your face, I was very intrigued, but I also was really scared that it meant that my hair was going to come back in like spiky and dark, and I definitely didn't want that. And that's also one of the biggest questions that I get about doing it. So I will say that after you do it, I mean, you can see your hair growing back in, but it's not spiky like it is on your legs. So just throw that out there first and foremost. But it does, obviously the hair does grow back. So just like you would have to go back and get another wax or something like that, you will have to keep up with it if you do start shaving. But the other reason that I do this is because it is a really good way to exfoliate and get all of the dead skin off of your face. So if you're like me, if I don't get regular facials every couple of weeks, I just kind of feel like my skin gets a little bit rough, and it can also be kind of a pain because if you're buying a lot of like expensive serums and products and you're putting it on top of your skin but you're not exfoliating, those products are just kind of sitting on top of your skin and not absorbing, so you're really wasting actually a lot of money if you're not doing some sort of exfoliation. So this would be considered a physical exfoliator, getting the dead skin off, and you'll see when I do the tutorial, it's actually really gross slash really satisfying because you can see like all of the dead skin as well as some of the baby hairs and stuff like that coming off. The benefit of doing this is that your skin feels so soft afterward. The products that you're using can absorb a lot better, and so it makes your skin look better. It makes, if you use, like I love using oils on my skin at night and stuff, the oils really absorb a lot better, and so your skin just really glows and looks a lot nicer. And also your makeup will sit a lot nicer on your skin instead of looking like flaky or anything like that. So the only time I would recommend not doing this is if you have like active acne. You definitely don't want to be like using a razor over that acne, obviously. But if you have pretty normal skin and you don't have any acne breakouts that are active, definitely pretty much a good idea for everybody to do to get rid of that dead skin and all of those baby hairs that you want to get rid of and you don't want to have to go get waxed all the time. So once again, I'm gonna get into how I do this, but I am using the Tinkle razors. I buy these off of Amazon. I actually bought like a huge pack of them to travel with because I didn't know when I'd be able to get them again. So you can get them off of Amazon. They're super cheap. I will link them below, but I know because they are plastic, I know that some people have bought like reusable razors, but if you do that, you just have to be making sure that you're always cleaning the blade really well, and obviously being really careful because it is a razor and you don't want to cut your face. But making sure you're cleaning the blade really well, because another thing too, I actually use these multiple times. Like I probably use them 2 to 3 times, but I will say that a lot of people have reached out to me and told me that when they tried to use them multiple times, it either didn't really work that well the second and third time, or they got like bacteria on their skin from trying to reuse them. So I'll just say what works for me is that I try and reuse them 2 to 3 times, but I also clean the blade with alcohol between uses so that I'm not like transferring bacteria back onto my skin after I've used it. Okay, so now I'm gonna get real up close and personal to the camera so I can show you guys how I do this. But the first thing to note is that my skin is dry. I do not use any sort of I don't have my skin be wet or use any soap or anything like that. I know some people do, but I've realized that when I do this with dry skin, it actually gets the dead skin off a lot better. I'm able to really get those flakes and the dead skin off, and it also gets the hair off. So do whatever works for you. I'm just sharing what works for me, but I do dry skin. Next thing I do, I have a little towel with me to wipe off the blade after I do a little bit, because like I said, you will be able to see a lot of the dead skin and hair come off, and if it's all over the blade, then it's not gonna work very well. So I have a little towel and that's pretty much it until I'm done, and then I will usually rinse off my face and put some oil on after so that it's able to really absorb really well. And sorry if I'm not looking at the camera, I'm using my phone today and it's taking me a second to get used to it. Okay, so here I am up close and personal with no makeup on. But the first thing you want to do is kind of spread your skin apart, and then you're going to kind of hold the blade at, I guess I can't really see, but kind of at an angle, and go back and forth. So one of my friends on Instagram, who I will link here, told me that she learned how to do this in esthetician school, and they said to go back and forth 7 or 8 times. Okay, I take that back. So I don't always just go back and forth. Sometimes I go up and down. But basically, you can tell if you apply a little bit of pressure. Oh, that is not hair from my face. You can tell if you just apply a little bit of pressure and pull your skin apart, go back and forth, and then look at the blade. You can see, I don't know if you guys can see what's on there already. Hold on, let me see if I can find a good one. Okay, here's a good one you can kind of see. I don't know if it's really in focus, but can you see kind of the brown layer that's on the top of that? So that is dead skin. And so you really can just do this across your entire face. Oh, it's so gross. Wipe it off, clean off your razor, and then go back at it. And I wouldn't do, over the same spot more than 7 or 8 times. So when I'm saying 7 or 8 times, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just because you can see get a little bit red and irritated. And also, don't be afraid to use a little bit of pressure. Obviously, you don't want to do it too hard because you don't want to cut yourself, but you can do, in order to get the dead skin off, you do have to apply a little bit of pressure. Just be really careful. And also be really careful around your eyebrows, because if you have a little minor slip, you can slice off some of your eyebrow, and that, nobody wants that. So I try and keep a good distance from my eyebrows because I would be really sad if I got them. Oh, gross. Okay, so after I feel like I am done and I've got off all of the hair and the dead skin, your skin actually feels so soft. To the touch, it feels like baby smooth, but you obviously don't really want to be touching it a lot after you do that because all of the dead skin is gone. Your skin is really sensitive to anything you put on it. So that's why after I do this, a lot of people have said that they use witch hazel after. I've found that my skin can be really sensitive to anything I put on it after I do this. So the only thing I put on my skin after I'm done dermaplaning is cold water to just kind of wash it off, and then I put some sort of oil on. And if you guys follow me, you know I do love Beautycounter oil, but I'm traveling right now, so I don't have any. I've just been using this grapeseed oil, which I will also link to below. I love it. It's really good for all skin types, but especially if you have any sort of fears around breaking out. I found that grapeseed oil is really good for anti-aging, but also doesn't break you out, which is So I hope this video was helpful. If you guys have any questions about dermaplaning, definitely reach out to me on Instagram. I will leave my handle right here. Ask me any questions that you have because I'm always open to making more videos. And I know that a lot of questions come up, but the main thing to note is that yes, your hair will grow back, but it won't be like dark and spiky as long as you keep up with doing it. So I've been doing this now. I try and do it like once a week. And that works really well for me. And now I can really tell, like, if I've gone too long without doing it, my skin starts to feel just kind of like rough. And I love doing this because it makes it so smooth. Yeah, makes my makeup go on smoother. It makes my products absorb better because, like, if you're spending a lot of money on skin products, which if you're watching this, you're probably interested in skin, so you probably are. You don't want to be just like wasting that product and having it sit on top of your skin. So definitely try this out. Let me know what you think. If you have questions, let me know. I will link the Tinkle razors and the grapeseed oil as well as some of my other favorite products below. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.